Want something to eat? I could eat some. Come get your food. Keep your mask on.
Jesus is Lord.
Guys, welcome to another...
Don't say that whole welcome to our channel thing. Can we just get into it?
Okay, well, this is intense. Okay, cool. So, screw masks. That's shade, boy, for you. So today's video is happening because some time ago on Saturday, I am going through Instagram as one would.
Yeah.
And I am going through my timeline and I see Tyrese's video. Tyrese Gibson, the actor. And so,
sweet lady,
would you be my sweet love for a lifetime?
this song is actually fitting.
Right?
Oh, he needs me.
Anyway, so I'm watching this video and it is...
Okay, how about we play the video for the people?
Anyway, but it's Pastor Henderson talking to Pastor Turner. I don't know much about these people, and I purposefully, for the purposes of this video, didn't want to find more about them because I didn't want it to influence
what you think,
I think of
the video.
of the man and what he said.
Okay.
Even though he's probably a great guy, but I disagree with one thing that he said on the video. And I think for all those that are at home, for the benefit of you guys, we'll link the video below and we are going to put it up on screen. And
Let's put it up now.
Put it up now. Let's play it now?
Yeah.
Wait. Before you guys go any further, if this is your first time on the channel, please subscribe, smash the like button, share the video. When you subscribe, there's the bell icon. I'm trying to sound like a YouTuber.
Or submarine.
Submerge into the channel. Anyway, so we'll play the video. But before we play the video, so I watched this thing, and so I went for a run after that. And as I was going for my run, this thing just stayed with me in my head. What Pastor Henderson said, and it bothered me. So
we're here today.
We're here today.
Yeah, we're here today.
We're here today.
Oh yeah, and then you went on your social media.
Yep.
And you asked people if they wanted you to share your thoughts.
Yes.
Which is why we're here today.
And people said yes, they wanted me to share my thoughts.
And then, of course, you decided to rope me in.
Yes.
Because I am the voice of reason.
No, I roped you in because...
Can we go with that?
Because what happens is, between Thula and I, he's the married one and I am the struggling relationshiptionist.
Is that a word?
It is now. I'm the unmarried twin.
It's your brother's birthday today. You've just created a word on your younger brother's birthday.
Yes, I did. Did you call him? I spoke to him. Anyway, so Thula is so this conversation is not planned. It can go anywhere.
Okay.
And Thula and I hardly ever agree on anything that has to do with relationships and marriage, mainly because I know nothing about marriage, but I know a lot about relationships because I've been in a couple of them as a struggling relationshiptionist.
And I haven't been in a lot of relationships. We assume. Can we play the video?
Yeah, I could play the video. Cool.
That we got to stop dating like people are accessories. Like the
Yes.
shoes got to match the purse, you know, or like the shirt has to match the pants. Sometimes people date and their professions have nothing
Yes.
to do with one another.
Yes.
Let me tell you, purposeful dating, especially if you're doing it towards marriage,
Yeah.
God never intended for us to find happiness in marriage. You can't find it nowhere in the Bible. It's so people, number one, they're looking for something in relationships that don't exist. That's like coming into my house looking for the Oval Office. It ain't here.
Yeah.
It's on 1600 Pennsylvania in DC. Getting into a relationship is not about looking for happiness.
Yeah.
God uses marriage as an evangelistic tool. And marriage is designed to make you more like God.
Yeah.
No wonder you find somebody who works your nerves, because if you're going to be more patient, if you're going to be more loving, if you're going to exude the fruit of the Spirit, then God has to give you somebody who's not like you.
Yeah.
Right? So that you can become strong where they're weak.
Yeah.
And you can be weak where they're strong. The problem is we up here looking for people who are strong where we're strong, and then you get two headstrong people who can't get along because there's no weakness nor vulnerability.
Wow. Wow.
I don't need somebody who does what I do.
Yeah.
I need somebody who does what I don't do, so we can do something we ain't never done before.
That's good. That's
so
good.
Purposeful dating in 2020 is making sure, listen, that you date destiny, not bank account. That you date hope, that you date futurism, that you date communication and not muscles or swag. Because swag ain't sexy when it's hitting you upside the head.
Come on.
Swag ain't sexy when you're at home alone 5 nights out of the week.
Yeah.
And money don't mean nothing when you can't sit down on the couch and tell each other how you feel.
Let's go. Let's discuss that.
Okay, cool. Sharp.
So he says,
Nutshell, he says, don't date people like they're accessories. Fully agree.
Agree?
We agree there.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, but the contention here is that he says you will not find happiness in marriage.
No. What he says is God never intended for us to find happiness in marriage.
Yeah.
And then he goes as far and he says, Uguti, there is no happiness in marriage.
Is that what he says?
Let's watch that again. He says there's no happiness in marriage.
It's so people, number one, they're looking for something in relationships that don't exist.
Okay, yeah, he does say.
He says you can, and that is where him and I part ways.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So can I share my understanding of what he's trying to say?
Before you share, can I share mine?
Okay.
I'm older, right? So the man says God never intended us for us to find happiness in marriage, right? And then he goes on to say people are looking for something in marriage or relationships that does not exist. In a nutshell, he says there is no happiness in marriage, unless I'm getting it wrong.
Well, that's what he said.
Right?
Yeah.
Zulu is my first language, South African boy, and English is not second language.
English. Yeah.
I desperately want to disagree with the fact that there is no happiness in marriage. And I'll give you, and I think there's a lot of things that, and I want to get spiritual in this video because I can, but I'd rather not, right? The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's right. In so many words where he says, the Bible doesn't explicitly say that you'll find happiness in marriage, but you can infer that marriage is a thing that God created for us to find joy and pleasure in.
Yes.
right?
Okay.
The Bible then again goes to says that he came that we might have life and have it in abundance. There's no abundance in strife, right? So the Bible again in Proverbs says a quarrelsome wife is as annoying as a dripping tap, like a water dripping, right? So again, if you infer again from all of these things, it first says you will find favor, right? And then it goes on. The Bible again says he came that we might have life and have it in abundance, right?
Which means happiness.
Which means
abundance.
happiness.
Yeah.
And God wants us to get married.
Yeah.
Right?
He designed it.
He designed it for us to get married. In fact, if I remember, if you think of the Bible, right? Again, when it speaks of people who are fasting, right? It says that if a married couple, and I could be wrong, please correct me in the comments. I think it says that if you and your husband and wife are fasting, right?
Yes.
The minute you finish fasting, you go back into being intimate with your wife.
It actually goes even deeper than that. It says, Uguti, we can fast in all respects,
except for that one thing.
If we are not in agreement, Uguti, we are fasting in that one thing, then that one thing needs to happen. So unless we both agree that we don't go there, then we don't go there. But if you saying I'm fasting and I'm like, but I still need the thing,
then I think my mind is everywhere. It's running with me when I Thula. I'm also thinking, Uguti, the Bible also says the two shall become one. Are you telling me that when the two become one, that there's no happiness there?
Okay, let me, I hear you and I agree with you. Let me explain what my understanding or the other side of what this gentleman, what I think is trying to say.
Yeah.
What I think he's trying to say is that if you are not happy on your own, then you're not gonna find happiness in marriage.
Okay, that is very true.
All right. So if you actually remember when Will Smith actually joined Instagram, one of the videos that he posted, and if Will Smith,
that legend,
if Will Smith says it's true.
If Will Smith says it is true,
know,
you heard it here first, people.
Yeah. So Will Smith says that you need to do things and find things that make you happy and present yourself happy in the relationship.
Yes.
Okay? So both of you and your wife are in a place of happiness, and then you present yourselves happy to them, and then you become happy together. Happier together, right?
Yes.
So your happiness is multiplied together.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you are horrible on your own,
you're not gonna come into the marriage and find happiness. If you are shit on your own.
Yes. If you are not happy on your own,
yes,
then marriage is not gonna be.
It's not gonna make you happy.
Yes, it's not gonna be the pill that fixes and gives you happiness.
Yeah.
And I think when you posted it and then you said I must go watch it, when I saw that, that's what I saw. Yeah. That's what I heard. And I agreed with him in the sense that you gotta be happy on your own.
Yeah.
She's gotta be happy on her own. And when you come together, you become happier together. I think in one of the videos I described my relationship with you, yes, and I described my relationship with my wife, and I said it is two people doing life together.
Happily.
Yes. Okay. So it is two independent people doing life together.
Yeah.
Okay. You are happy on your own. I'm happy on my own, but we come together as twins and we are happier. My wife cannot or I cannot expect that my wife is my sole source of happiness.
Yeah, you gotta bring it to yourself.
Yes, happiness comes from within.
For sure.
Okay?
For sure.
And I've got to present myself happy, and then she adds to the happiness.
So within the marriage space that you guys come into, happiness exists.
Happiness does exist, but if you think
That
you
getting
are
married will
unhappy,
just will make you happy, it won't.
it won't.
So
I
this-
think that's what he's trying to say.
So this is what happens when you try to be smart and educated. I get that fully. I think that the one thing that happens for me is context gets lost very quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Right? So in that situation, someone might hear what the man is saying and say, "Oh my God,
I'm not going to get married.
it is not, there's no happiness in there."
Yes.
And I already feel like, and the reason why this stuck with me is because I'm already struggling with the concept of marriage. I'm already in a space where I'm just like, should I even get married? Because at the young age of, let me finish this. At the young age of 35, I probably know a lot of people who are divorced. I know a lot of people who are in marriages that are unhappy. So utterances like this make it seem like it's normal for people to be unhappy in marriages. And it is not to say that when you get married to someone that you're not going to have fights, squabbles, because it's two different people that comes from two different backgrounds trying to build a life together, of course, right? So you guys are bound to knock heads and butt heads. And he's right. Marriage or any relationship will teach you how to be the real
Patient.
you.
Yeah.
Right?
It will teach you patience, forgiveness.
Oh, it will teach you so much.
So
I think a lot of people just need to get into marriage when they are ready. A lot of people come into marriage and relationships with a lot of undealt with traumas.
okay, so what I think, and a lot of people will say that my partner and I fight a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you focus on the fact that you and your spouse are having these engagements that cause a bit of friction, you know, I look at it as we have friction about A, we find common ground, we bank it.
Mm.
Okay? We have friction about B, we find common ground, we bank it.
Yeah.
We have about C, common ground, we bank it. We find every time we bank
At
something,
some point, you can withdraw from the bank.
every time we bank something, we're finding common understanding,
Yes.
right? Common understanding. Now, we do this over 10 different things, and out of those 10 different engagements, we've learned something about each other.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where it just works,
Right.
because we understand each other. So if you just focus on the fact that there are these uncomfortable engagements and they are constant for the first couple of years in the marriage, if you focus on that, right, then you're missing the point where you need to zoom into, actually, we found common ground here, common ground there, common ground there. And if you stay there long enough, you get to a point of true understanding.
True. I hear you on that. I want to ask you this, and I think what I tend to struggle with, right, is I've spent time where I was the toxic one in relationships,
Yeah.
right, where I found myself, she could walk through the door and literally get some water, and that would piss me off, right?
You are a petty mother effer, aren't you?
Right? And what I
Yeah.
found is it had nothing to do with her. It was all me,
Yeah.
right? And I'm finding that in a lot of marriages, men and women tend to
Have triggers.
they have triggers that they just haven't dealt with. So now she is not happy with something in her life. She's not happy with where she is. She's not happy with a
Or
trauma.
you are not happy.
Or I'm not happy, right? And then suddenly my person becomes my punching bag,
You reflect.
right? And you find that they've done nothing wrong. But because of the things that I say about Wuti, you know, like, yeah, how could you I do that when, you know, and it becomes this big thing that doesn't exist. Because I think that generally a lot of people get into marriages hoping that those marriages will fix them.
Goes back to find yourself and present yourself.
Present yourself complete.
Which
Present-
is, look, but actually, that's a perfect world, actually, in Ntokozo.
for sure.
That's a perfect
What I'm
world.
trying to say to you is this. Let me make an example. Sorry to cut you off. All right.
You're rude. I don't expect anything less.
I ask anyone that I've dated before. I've had a lot of relationships that ended because of how I would express myself in anger all the time, right? So I don't think sometimes that the pruning, which he talks about, happens only in marriage. It can happen with you when you're by yourself.
In fact, I think it is important for it to happen
When you're by yourself.
when you're by yourself.
Right? Sometime in 2019, I remember I took a step back and I literally spent some time really by myself. It started off as I was spending time alone, it became lonely, and it became fucking lonely. Right? And
Those are levels.
yeah,
It became
those
lonely.
levels to go. No, you started spending time alone,
Yeah.
and then
It became lonely.
it became lonely.
It just became fucking
It
lonely.
became desperately, give me a hug right now.
Put on your mask.
But during that time, I dealt with so much of myself. One thing I realized was, with every encounter that I would have with whoever I was with, right? If they, and this is, so he mentioned something about being weak and vulnerable with your partner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable with our partners because someone would do something that hurts me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they talk to me in a way that I felt like was unkind or was rude, right?
Yeah.
And instead of me expressing that emotion, expressing the, I don't like how you spoke to me, I would shoot straight to anger.
Okay.
Right? So instead of me saying, I miss you and I want to see you, but you don't want to see me or something, whatever, then that would annoy me, and I would just get pissed off, I'd blow up, I'd start cursing and whatever it is. And I found that instead of me expressing how I was truly feeling, I would shoot straight to anger. Also because when we're growing up as kids, we are taught not to express emotion, but anger is an emotion, right?
Yeah.
But it's an acceptable one. You know, boys can be angry, they can fight it off and whatever it is. So we shoot to.
Wow.
That's Casper and AKA fighting. So I would shoot straight to anger, and I learned in 2019 that actually I don't think I had a temper per se. I've just had emotional immaturity.
So I have, I think, gotten to a point where it's different for me, where because I used to be like that at one point in my life.
Yeah, we were like our dad.
Yeah.
We thought we had his temper, but we just had his emotional immaturity.
Yeah. I find that there are instances where I should express how I feel, but because I am afraid of getting to that point of shooting in anger,
So you don't do it.
I choose to keep quiet.
which doesn't help you or your marriage or your relationship or anything. That sucks completely. So I've said this before. I said it in the episode of Life for Mawele with Dando and Hlelo, that I think I am more concerned about me being the right person than I am concerned about being the right person. I mean, than finding the right person.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm less concerned. Yeah, so I said exact words was, I'm less concerned about finding the right person. I am more concerned about being the right person. I think a lot of people should take that kind of mindset when getting into marriages, because that almost ensures happiness.
So to close this,
Yes.
I think we agree that what he's saying is
A lot of it I agree. Watch the rest of the video. I agree with a lot of it, except the part where he says happiness does not exist in relationships and marriage.
But if we now bring in the context that we've just spent time going through now, that if you are not happy on your own, then don't expect to find it in marriage.
But it does exist.
It can exist.
I don't think it can. I think it does. Have you not met someone, and this is the thing, the inhibitions of, you know, when you meet someone and none of your baggage, none of theirs
matters. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful thing. It exists. It's probably when the person gets to know the real you, and then both of you guys maybe don't handle those two emotions correctly, that it becomes a volcano of disruptions and unhappiness. But there's a certain level of maturity, and tolerance and understanding, and patience that comes in, right?
So everything that the Bible describes as what love is. Yeah.
What also, I just thought of something now, right? I think
I am amazing at triggering such thoughts.
you did this.
Yeah.
Right? Uguti, there are a lot of things. So he's right in saying that the Bible says nothing about you finding happiness in marriage, right? But the Bible says a lot of things, doesn't say a lot of things, but that happen. For instance, you know the conversation of, do you believe that men are submissive?
Yes, we are.
Right? Do you believe that women love?
Yes, they do.
Right? But in the Bible, there's a call for women to submit and men to love. It is not to say
that the opposite doesn't exist.
Because in a loving relationship, a man loves and submits.
Yeah.
And the woman does the same. The Bible doesn't mention it, but it's there. So the lack of thereof, the fact that it doesn't say it, doesn't mean that it's not there.
Yeah. So my understanding of that is and a lot of people just quote what you've just quoted now, that submit and love, right? But if you further read what the Bible says, okay, it says women submit to your husbands. Husbands love your wives, right? It then describes what love is. Patience, kind, it doesn't boast, it's not easily angered, and all those beautiful things. It then says, I must love my wife the same way that I would love my own body. Let's park Jesus.
You want to park Jesus? Oh, wow. Okay.
But it says, I must love my wife the same way that I would love my own body, right? So now if you think about this process of us loving each other in submission, if I love my wife as much as I love my own body, then I am not going to hurt my wife.
Because the two shall become one.
Exactly.
Quick one, before we wrap up, I want to wrap this up real quickly. What are your thoughts on What are your thoughts on, in the streets, Ekasi, there's this mindset of you must find intomazane ethandawele. Marry or date a woman that is crazy in love with you. What are your thoughts on that?
That's just, it's a small-minded, Kasi philosophy that I don't agree with.
What do you agree with?
I think we've just said it. I think the love and the submission is both ways.
Yeah. I think, well, just for me, I want to marry the woman that I am in love with. I want to be more in love with her. I don't want to say more in love with her than she's in love with me, but I need to love her with all my being, and maybe just hope that she loves me back in the same, and just pray for it.
You play your part.
I could never be with a woman that I'm not crazy. I could never marry a woman that I'm not madly in love with.
Yeah.
Because then that's when it's easy to disrespect her. That's when it's easy to not value her. That's when it's easy for you to just do things that
And that is stick sweet.
And I just...
Why do you agree with me? It is stick sweet to skip in a can.
No, but when you trigger these things, you are the ones that trigger the thoughts. So I'm following through. Brilliant. Anyway, this conversation has gone longer than anticipated. I just want to say to Pastor Henderson, no offense, bro. I didn't feel you.
Okay, Pastor Henderson, I get you. It's the context that was missing.
I think maybe the video was cut short, and I think because someone might watch that
Yeah,
thing.
and also it's Instagram.
It's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was cut though. I think it almost becomes irresponsible to say happiness does not exist in marriage.
Okay. But we've covered it.
Yeah.
And now let's close. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
See you at the next one.
Comment. Let us know what you think. Ask us questions and we'll respond. And if you have any other topic that you want to suggest for us to cover in this amazing environment of research and development. Where are you going?
I'm done.
No, come, say bye.
Bye.